Are you surrounded by challenges and feel like there's no way out? Welcome to the Daily Devo. I am Vince Miller. This week we are in 1 Samuel chapter 7, and I've titled this chapter, Stand Up and Make a Declaration. So let's recap a little bit before we dig into the text today. Israel, having lost and regained the Ark of God, defiled the Tabernacle in Shiloh and found themselves in a 20-year hiatus from all worship and sacrifice. But after 2 decades have passed, Samuel, a man of God, calls the nation to repent. He gathers them all at Mizpah for a national declaration and spiritual restoration. And right at this moment, it gets really interesting. The plot thickens in 1 Samuel chapter 7, verses 7 through 11. Let me read it. Now, when the Philistines heard that the people of Israel had gathered at Mizpah, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel. And when the people of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. And the people of Israel said to Samuel, "Do not cease to cry out to the Lord our God for us, that he may save us from the hand of the Philistines." So Samuel took a nursing lamb and offered it as a whole burnt offering to the Lord. And Samuel cried out to the Lord for Israel, and the Lord answered him. And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to attack Israel. But the Lord thundered with a mighty sound on that day against the Philistines and threw them into confusion. And they were defeated before Israel. And the men of Israel went out from Mizpah and pursued the Philistines and struck them as far as below Beth-car. Now, this is really an interesting moment, isn't it? I want you to put yourself in it, though. So imagine for a moment that you are one of the people of Israel. You and your entire family are gathered with the rest of the nation at Mizpah. You are unarmed, you are fasted, and you are in a vulnerable emotional state. In the middle of this event, word spreads that the 5 lords of the Philistines with their armies are gathered around you, and you look up to the surrounding territory and hills to see that the Philistines, they have you surrounded. And logically in your brain, you face utter destruction and annihilation. So completely vulnerable, there is only one possibility: salvation by the Lord, of course. Therefore, the people beg Samuel to pray for their salvation. So Samuel does. With the enemy within sight and perched to attack, Samuel responds with prayer and sacrifice. By the way, something he hasn't done in 20 years. Then God makes this interesting sound. It is a mighty, thundering sound that throws the Philistines into mass hysteria. Now, I want to stop here, make a little note. The people of this time had a unique understanding of military combat. They believed that every military conflict, whether it was a victory or a defeat, played out on 2 planes, a natural plane and a supernatural plane. Therefore, any unusual phenomenon during a military operation would be interpreted as evidence of a deity at work. In this case, the loud and unexpected thunder, whatever it was, immediately was understood by the Philistines as a bad omen, which was supported by the fact that they were actually attacking Israel while they were worshiping God. Thus, this is what caused mass panic. Israel also understood this as an answer from the Lord, from Samuel's prayer and sacrifice, and we can see they took advantage of the mass hysteria. So let me make 3 points of application today. First, doesn't the enemy always strike you when you are weakest and most vulnerable? Isn't that true? I mean, this is always what happens in my life. The enemy loves to wear a believer down. He is relentless, by the way. He knows your weaknesses, your vulnerable moments, your fears, and your failures. If he sees that you are about to make a turn to God, he's going to send the full force of his armies against you to try to defeat you. Always true. Second, when the enemy strikes in these vulnerable moments and opportunities, you get to make a strategic choice. You can look at the situation from a natural or a supernatural perspective. Now, this mindset that you adopt will change how you view everything in the situation and every subsequent decision. The choice is either the enemy and the natural forces are in control, or the choice is God and his supernatural force are in control. That's important. Third, when you surrender to God, assuming that that's what you do in your mind, you surrender to Him, you still need to listen for God and join Him in the fight. Surrendering to God does not mean we surrender the fight. We need to fight, but we need to fight the right enemy in the right way. And the only way to do this is to get behind the God who fights ahead of us in every battle. So today, you might feel just like Israel does right here in this text, surrounded and vulnerable. If so, grasp the battle, gird your mind, and then get out there and fight with all you got. I love you guys. I pray this will bless you today. If it has, share it with someone else, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.